Before we begin our first project, we're going to take a look at a story called The Dot. The Dot was written and illustrated by Peter H. Reynolds. An illustrator is the person that draws the pictures for the books. You know, an artist. The Dot tells the story of a girl named Vashti. Vashti is currently in art class. She says that she's not a very good artist, that she can't draw anything. Let's take a look and see what happens.
Art class was over, but Vashti sat glued to her chair. Her paper was empty. Vashti's teacher leaned over the blank paper. "Ah, a polar bear in a snowstorm," she said. "Very funny," said Vashti. "I just can't draw." Her teacher smiled. "Just make a mark and see where it takes you." Vashti grabbed a marker and gave the paper a good, strong jab. "There!" Her teacher picked up the paper and studied it carefully. She pushed the paper toward Vashti and quietly said, "Now, sign it." Vashti thought for a moment. "Well, maybe I can't draw, but I can sign my name." The next week, when Vashti walked into art class, she was surprised to see what was hanging above her teacher's desk. It was the little dot she had drawn. Her dot! All framed in swirly gold. "Huh! I can make a better dot than that!" She opened her never-before-used set of watercolors and set to work. A red dot, a purple dot, a yellow dot, a blue dot. Vashti painted and painted. The blue mixed with the yellow, and she discovered that she could make a green dot. Vashti kept experimenting, lots of little dots in many colors. "If I can make little dots, I bet I can make big dots too." Vashti splashed her colors with a bigger brush on bigger paper to make bigger dots. Vashti even made a dot by not painting a dot. At the school art show a few weeks later, Vashti's many dots made quite a splash. Vashti noticed a little boy gazing up at her. "You're a really great artist. I wish I could draw," he said. "I bet you can," said Vashti. "Me? No, not me. I can't draw a straight line with a ruler." Vashti smiled. She handed the boy a blank sheet of paper. "Show me." The boy's pencil shook as he drew his line. Vashti stared at the boy's squiggle, and then she said, "Sign it." The end.
Wasn't that a great story? Vashti didn't give up. She kept making more and more dots until she became an amazing artist. You can be an amazing artist too. We're going to start by making dots, just like Vashti. Come on, let's get started. Before we can start, you're going to need to get some art supplies. You're going to need a piece of white paper, a pencil, a black Sharpie marker, and crayons. You're also going to need to find things around you that make the shape of a circle. I found a plate, a cup. It actually has two circles, one at the top and one at the bottom. Sneaky, sneaky. A can of soup, a lid to some kind of a jar, and a roll of tape, which also has 2 circles. Now it's your turn. Pause this video and go get your art supplies and 3 or 4 circle shapes. When you're back, press play and we'll get started. Welcome back. Allow me to show you 2 different ways to do this project. The first, I'm going to choose the big plate because it's the biggest circle I found. I put it in the middle of my paper and then held it with one hand and traced around the circle shape with my pencil. To be able to see it better, I'm going to use my Sharpie marker to trace my pencil line. We sure are doing a lot of tracing. Do you see how I start at the top of my paper and trace down towards the side? Then I stop and turn the paper and start again at the top. Makes that so much easier. If you don't have one big circle and you want to make smaller circles all over your paper, here's the other way you could do this project. I'm going to use these smaller circle shapes because I can put more of them on my paper. I'm using both circles on the cup, the top and the bottom. I'm using the circle shape on the soup can. Oh, this guy, I think he's a little too small. I'm not going to use him. And then lastly, I'm going to use the inside circle from this tape. Now that I have all the circles I want, oh wait, I have room for one more. Okay, now that I have all the circles I want, you know that it's time again to trace with the Sharpie because you are a super smarty. Again, watch how I turn my paper as I start from the top and trace down towards the side. Whew, that's a lot of circles to trace. Whew, got all of those circles traced. So here are the 2 different ways that you can choose to do this project. Which one do you like best? Now it's your turn. Either pick one big circle or several smaller circles to do. Pause this video while you're working, and when you're all done, press play and I'll show you the next step. I'm going to use the big circle so that you can see my drawing better, okay? Okay. With my pencil, I'm going to draw a line that dances all around inside the circle. My line might do a loop-de-loop or 2. Hey, look, a small second line snuck in at the bottom. Party crasher. Oh wait, you probably can't see this very well. I'm so sorry. Here, let me go over this with the Sharpie. There, is that better? See how that line dances really big inside the circle. If you have more than one or multiple circles, well, you're in luck. You're going to have a line dance party. Be sure to trace your pencil lines with the Sharpie so everyone will be able to see the line dance parties happening inside all of your circles. Well, what are you waiting for? Pause this video so that your line dance parties can begin. Whew, man, I don't know about you, but I need to take a break from all of the line dance parties. Let's talk about different lines while we're taking a break. You've already made a crazy line dancing line, but there are other lines that you can make, like zigzag lines that go up and down and look like shark's teeth, wavy lines that look like water, lines that are dotted or broken. Those kinds of lines remind me of ants marching along in a line to your picnic basket. Swirly lines make me dizzy. Short lines that go around a dot look like flowers or fireworks to me. Can you think of any other lines? Look around and see if you can find any lines. You can practice drawing your lines on the back of your paper. Just be sure to use your pencil, not your Sharpie marker. To add the lines to my dot, let's use some color, baby, color. Choose a crayon, whatever color you want. I think I'm going to make blue zigzag lines. To draw my lines, I'm going to press hard with my crayon so that I get a dark line. But that Sharpie marker line tells me to stop. I can't cross into the next space. So I'm going to stay in the shape that I'm in and fill it in with dark blue zigzags. Then very lightly, meaning I'm not going to press hard. I'm going to color the space, the background, that has the zigzags. I'm still using blue, but you can absolutely change to a different color. This is, after all, your artwork. You are the artist, so you get to choose the color that you want. Now that I'm done with this space, I'm going to pick a different line and do this again. I'm going to make sure that I press hard to make dark lines and then very lightly color the background. Change my color whenever I want. I'm the artist, after all. I get to make that decision. If you're stumped for an idea for a line, you are more than welcome to use any of the lines that Miss Kendrick is using in her project today. Look around you. Do you see any types of lines on your clothes? Maybe your shoes have a really cool line pattern on them. Maybe your backpack or a picture on the wall has a line that you could try in your artwork. The idea is to try to make each space different. If you have any space outside your circle, you can write the words happy.day. Day is September 15th. So make sure to wear some dots and practice making different dots, just like Vashti did from our story, The Dot. Here's everything you need to finish this project. So pause the video here until you're all done, and then press play. You'll get to see